Welcome to the garden. As I'm filling all of these containers from scratch, I was looking for something to offset the environmental impact of all that potting soil. And what I found was coconut fiber. It's also called coconut coir, C-O-I-R. This came in a very compressed brick. So the first thing I'm going to do is soak it. This is going to expand quite a bit as it soaks up all that water. So I'm using this big bin. I'm just gonna spray it down just to clean it first. Because after all, this is gonna be growing vegetables. Wow, this thing is huge. Look at the consistency of that. It's a little bit fibrous, really nice and crumbly. It absorbs lots of moisture. Look at that. That's beautiful. Let's see, wipes away pretty clean. That's good. Doesn't dye your hands red or anything. I'm gonna try to break this up a little bit. Maybe increase surface area here. You know, it is a lot like potting soil. It's kind of hydrophobic until it gets wet, and then it will absorb lots of moisture. Wow, that's cool. It squeezes dry. Like it's kind of damp and moist. This would be perfect for seedlings. Wow, this is so cool. And all this is the outer shell of a coconut. You have the hard inner shell, and you have the fibrous outer sort of husk. But you can see how fibrous and almost hairy it is, like a palm tree. So this is really environmentally friendly because it's a renewable resource. Peat moss, which is generally the main component of potting soils, is not quite so renewable. It grows in very, very small layers year by year in peat bogs or swamps. And then they go in and harvest it several feet deep. So that's hundreds of years of growth. Whereas coconuts regrow all the time, just in the tropics. And these husks are actually a waste product. So it's really an amazing resource. That is amazing. Look at how much that turned out to be. And it looks like a really nice product. I don't see any contaminants or any sticks or anything. It's just coconut husk. So my plan for this is to mix it with potting soil and compost and see if I can get these 3 giant pots full of our new mix. Here we go. Awesome. Look at the size of those. Now this one has compost from the old house. Here is a very small bag of potting soil, which I'm going to divide evenly. But we're going to start with a base of dried leaves. It's okay if there's sticks in here, that's perfectly fine. Doesn't really matter what kind of leaves you use. Look, that's even a little piece of a wasp nest. So I'm going to start with our coconut. Toss in a couple handfuls each, just to line the base. I'm gonna bust into this potting mix, and this is just gonna even things out a little bit. Now initially I'm just going to do layers, but we are going to mix these together in the end. Not quite so much to mess up our leaves at the bottom, but just enough to have a nice homogeneous mix. And every now and then I'm going to add some compost. Look at how rich this is. It's just amazing. It's beautiful. It's just pitch black. Here's a side-by-side comparison of our potting mix and our coconut fiber. So you can see the potting mix has wood chips and perlite, which are those little white specks. It's actually a type of volcanic rock. It acts kind of like styrofoam. It actually floats, and it can absorb moisture like a sponge, and it can allow moisture to drain like sand. It says that the formula absorbs 33% more water. But it looks to me like our coconut fiber really holds a lot of water. Oh, look at that. So it's starting to get a little bit of a red color to that water. Wonder if we should rinse it off, drain it. It really doesn't have much of an odor. It smells quite pleasant. And when we put them all side by side, you can really see the difference between the coconut fiber, the potting mix, which is more of a mixture of perlite, wood chips, and peat moss, and compost, which is just so beautiful and rich. It's just amazing. But once we mix these all together, it becomes something different. It becomes garden soil. Coconut fiber by itself has little to no nutrients. So it's not a direct replacement for potting soil, but it can be used as an amendment to make your potting soil last longer, or as a foundation for building your own potting soil. So if you're also looking for a more sustainable, environmentally friendly replacement, or even an amendment to your regular potting soil, I highly recommend coconut fiber. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Coconut coir, coir, or coir, coconut coir, coconut coir, 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 coir. It's also called coconut coir. Oh, thanks, guys.